Good day, everybody. I'm Regina, and I wrote this book, Carter and the Touching Rules. And I just want to come today and just express some things that have been on my heart, and I feel that they are necessary to kind of discuss. So here we go. Okay, Carter and the Touching Rules. Carter and the Touching Rules is a book about teaching children about appropriate and inappropriate touching and what to do if they feel violated or if they just feel uncomfortable. I wrote this book because I experienced it. You know, as when you're a child and you're not really thinking in a sexual manner, and you are approached by an adult or someone that you are looking to give you direction with regard to what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's wrong. And they can't always be trusted. You know, age does not give you wisdom all the time. Relationship does not mean they have your best interests at heart. They can be family, they can be friends, they can be neighbors, they can be just anyone, cannot have your best interest at heart. Now, not to say that everyone is bad, because there are good people in this world. There are mature people and people that are looking out for your best interest. But I'm speaking to just bringing children, giving them the knowledge and the wisdom that they need to survive in a world that's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what someone is thinking, doing, or what their motives are, And then sometimes the child, it could, as children, you go into it innocently. You don't have a clue as to, what this person might be thinking, doing, or feeling until it just slaps you in the face. So, and then you're stuck with this decision like, okay, well, my mom and my dad told me that, I need to respect adults, or I need to do this or that for, with this person. If they tell me to do something, I need to do it, blah, blah, blah. But what if they're telling your child to do the wrong thing? So that's why I wrote this book, because in my experience, I wasn't given that information as a child, that, not to trust everyone. I just trusted everyone blindly, and then I was presented as a child with a situation where I should not have trusted this person in what they were saying, but I didn't know any better, so I just wrote this book to give children an outlook, as to just think, if they feel uncomfortable, let somebody know. Just because this is an adult does not mean that what they're saying or what they're doing is right. And that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody is wrong, because I'm not villainizing men or women. I just want children to be aware of their own environment, and to trust their feelings, trust their intuition, trust what's going on within them, and not just blindly trust an adult or a person or someone else that may be making them feel uncomfortable or whatnot. So that's why I wrote this book, and it's not a situation where it's going to make them feel uncomfortable. It just make you aware. And I wanted to be an example for children, just to go and, if something is going on and they feel uncomfortable, then it's okay for them to acknowledge that they feel uncomfortable, and let somebody know, or maybe just let that person know, because it may not even necessarily be sexual. It just may make them feel uncomfortable. They may not like it. It might be a pat on the back or something. Just give children the opportunity to express themselves and how they feel in that moment. They don't have to accept it just because they're children. And that's a lot of times what we teach children. They're supposed to just accept things just because they're a child. They don't have a right to speak and say how they feel because they're children. But that is not a good idea. It's not a good idea to teach children that, because the right situation, yeah, that's appropriate. The wrong situation, you're gonna wish your child had something to say. So just don't do that. And then I think also we can benefit from normalizing feelings, how you feel. Say what you feel. Say how you mean. You don't have to say it disrespectfully, but just give them an opportunity to express themselves. That way they are used to expressing themselves and they are comfortable with doing it. Therefore, when something happens, good, bad, or indifferent, they are already comfortable with expressing themselves. So they're going to let somebody know. So no one can say, well, oh, don't tell nobody this and that. Because guess what? They've been telling everything else and they're comfortable with telling. They're comfortable with talking. They're comfortable with doing those things. So, just create an environment for children to express themselves and be comfortable around people, comfortable within themselves, and comfortable with telling you when things are not going right. I think, another thing is, we just stop leaving your children with everybody. Don't trust everybody with your children, period. Like, it's just, no, no, it's not a good idea, period. I don't care who it is. You need to have a select few of people that you leave your children with. Select few, not everybody and their mama, because it's just not safe. It's not safe, not necessarily just because it's sexually not safe. It is not a safe environment. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're teaching your children. You don't know what kind of influences they have on them. And you won't know the damage or the traumatic events that have happened a lot of times until they get to be an adult. And a lot of us adults that have been through traumatic experiences are trying to figure our way through it, and are not even, well, for me, I'm just now talking about these things. I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? It's just a cycle of shenanigans that we just go through, and it affects not only us as children, but it affects us as an adult, and we carry it into our lives and carry these burdens on our back when we don't have to do that. We can resolve some of these things earlier. We can address a lot of these issues earlier and try to recover from them early if something should happen. But we don't normalize talking about these things. We don't normalize dealing with these issues. We don't normalize saying, hey, this made me feel some kind of way. So then everything's a secret, and we need to normalize not having these type of secrets. We need to normalize accepting what children are saying. Even if maybe you don't believe them. Maybe there's a child that's not always honest, but at least listen to them. Listen, and then use your own discernment. But don't just shoot them down. Oh, no, that didn't happen. No, because a lot of times most children ain't finna lie about it. They're not making these things up. Something happened. And a lot of people are still going through issues now today, still guarded, women and men, guarded, dealing with problems, emotionally unstable, out here acting irrationally, not taking care of themselves, and just being out of control, not having a good, stable life because of things that have happened to them when they were children. Unresolved traumatic events playing out into your adult life. So we have to create an environment for recovery, for acknowledgement, for communication, for just reality. Life is happening to everybody, to children too, children and adults. We just have to do better. So that's what this book is about. Let's talk about these things. Let's normalize talking about what's appropriate, what is not, standing up and saying what's happening in your life and what you agree with and what you don't, what you felt good about, what you did not. And I don't care what age you are. If you're 3, if you're 5, if you don't want them to pick you up, then dang it, the baby don't want you to pick them up. I mean, I see that too. Babies don't want to be bothered with some adults, and they just all up in the baby. The baby don't want to be bothered. For whatever reason, they ain't feeling you at this moment. So you need to relax as an adult. And allow the baby to be a baby. The baby got sins. Just because it's a baby don't mean they gotta like everybody. So, you know, come on now. We all gotta just do better in certain areas. And I think, you know, we need to give children more credit and more respect and more love, more compassion, and listen to them. Listen to them and talk to them. Talk to them about these things. Talk to them about what's happening in the world. Talk to them about good and bad touches. Talk to them regularly so they know, so they're not shy about it. There's nothing to be shy about. It's nothing. Sex should not be this big secret for the rest of their life. God created it. It's not the big secret. Unless you make it one. You make it a secret. So, anyway, this book, Carter and the Touching Rules. Talk to your children. Talk to your children about, get the book. Read it to them. If you don't want to talk to them, if you don't feel comfortable with discussing these things with your children, get the book. The Spirit Within .site. And it's on Amazon. Give it to the child to read it themselves. Let them write a report about it. Write an essay. Do something. Let your children know that things can happen and that what to do in the event they do. Give them the tools that they need. It's not necessarily saying that it's not saying everybody is bad. It's not saying that that's going to happen to your child. It's not saying that. It's just preparing them, putting it in their mind about appropriate versus inappropriate. It's just like good food and bad food. Good words and bad words. You teach them about that, hopefully. You should teach them about appropriate and inappropriate touches. So that's my spiel. So be blessed. Bless the children. Bless anyone who has experienced it. You know, I pray for anyone that has been exposed to anything negative, any traumatic event as a child. And I pray for your continuous recovery and love, self-love and self-respect goes for all of us, you know, because it's not easy. We all recover differently. Some of us are still recovering. You know, some people are out here on drugs, going through depression, all because of something that happened when they was a child. Unresolved traumatic events still affecting them today. So I have compassion for those people. And I am grateful that I have recovered. But I still want to make sure that, hey, somebody else's child can avoid this, you know, prevent it. So each one, teach one. Teach your children. Take care.